Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Fiberflux. In this video, I will show you how to crochet the Zinnia Flower Shawl. This is a triangular shawl that's worked from the bottom up in an all-over V stitch and finished off with a very simple edge. The finished dimensions that I got were 39 inches across the top edge and about 31 inches down each side of the triangle. I used for this particular shawl, the finished shawl, Cascade Yarn sock yarn, the Heritage 150 paints, and this is the 97-91 colorway in case you're wondering. And each one of these skeins is 492 yards, and I used the full skein for this project. For this tutorial, I'll be using some smushy Dream in Color, and you can really use any sock yarn you like, and you just keep working the rows until you get the dimensions that you like. But any sock yarn will work well for this pattern. You'll also need a 4 millimeter G crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and a tapestry needle for your finish work. So let's get started. You can move this shawl out of the way. Again, this is Smushy Dream in Color. This is the Spring Tickle colorway, in case you're wondering. So to begin, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. To make a slip knot, wrap the yarn around your fingers, make a loop, bring the yarn behind your loop, reach in with your crochet hook and pull it up, and then tighten it onto the hook. Next, we're going to chain 7. This is our foundation row. To make a chain, wrap yarn around hook and pull it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our starting chain. Next, in the 4th chain from the hook, this loop here does not count. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the 4th chain from the hook, we're going to work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. To work it all in the same chain. To work a double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert the hook into the chain, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to chain 1, then we're going to work another double crochet, all in the same chain. This will make our first V, just like that. Next, we're going to skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and in that very last chain, we're going to do the same thing. Work a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Just like that. So our foundation row is complete. It should look like that with 2 V's. Next, we're going to move on to row 1. To work row 1, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn our work. And we're going to be working a V into the V that comes before it, that we worked in the previous row. So let's go back to our finished shawl for just a second. If you look closely here, you can see that the V's are stacked on top of one another, and that's because we worked the V into the V from the previous row, right into the space there. So let's come back to our swatch here, our little sampler. And so here's the V, and I wanted to mention we're working into the spaces, these holes, not the stitches. So we're going to make a V on top of the V that came before it by working a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, just like in the previous row. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So you can see that stacked V effect that we're getting. The next V, we're going to do the same thing. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, just like that. And then we're also going to do the same thing into the turning chain space. That was when we did the chain 3 and turned our work. We're also going to work a V into that. That's going to give you the outward expanding triangle effect. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, just like that. So you can see how it's already starting to expand. Okay, so row 1 is complete. And to finish your shawl, what you'll do is just keep repeating. Let's find the bottom of our shawl here. This is the, yeah, here it is. Okay, it was turned to its side a little bit. So this is where we started the shawl. And to finish, you'll just keep repeating row 1 over and over and over and over again. And as you work rows, your shawl will begin to expand outwardly. It'll grow in width and it'll grow in height. So you'll just keep going until you get the height and the width that you'd like. Or you can just work until you run out of yarn. When I ran out, I used the full skein for mine. And when I ran out of yarn, it happened to be a dimension that I really liked. So I'm going to scoot this over for just a second. So you can either leave the top straight and flat and plain, or you can add an edging. It's totally up to you. I just did a very simple little, kind of like an open scallop, you could call it, I guess. So let's do that next. To work the edge row, and that's just the very last row, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn our work, and we're going to do it basically the same exact way. We're going to be working into these V's by working a double crochet, but instead of just a chain 1, we're going to do a chain 3. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet. That's all in that same space, that V, just like that. In the pattern, I refer to it as the chain 1 space because it was created by working the chain 1 in between those 2 double crochets. So let's do that again. The next V, we'll do the same thing. Double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet. All into that V from the previous row. So it's starting to have that open scallop effect. Next V, double crochet, chain 3, pull some more yarn out here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet all in the same space here. And then we're also, so here you can see it's looking very nice, like lattice or something. And then in the turning chain space for this row only, we're going to, had a little knot in my yarn there, we're going to work just 1 double crochet in that turning chain to finish it off. Just like that. Okay, so let's pull this out. So our little sampler is complete. So we worked the edge and then finished it off. So that's what it'll look like, but obviously yours will be much larger. And then when you're finished, you can take your scissors and break the yarn and fasten off like that. Then you'll take your tapestry needle and you'll have 2 ends, one where you left, where you finished, one where you started. So you'll want to weave both of those in. And then if you like, it's totally up to you, but if you like, you can block your work just to open it up a little bit. I did not. Here's the shawl. I thought it looked nice. I didn't think it needed anything, but if you feel like you need to block it, you can definitely do that as well. And just know that when you do block things, it will open them up and make them a little bit larger than when you originally make the piece. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not what you want, so just so you know. So we just we went up the side here, we wove this side in, and then I just like to come back and do another pass in the opposite direction just to make sure everything is nice and secure. Then you can take your scissors and just trim that off. Pull it a little bit and it'll disappear. So that is how you crochet the Zinnia Flower Shawl. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the red subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again!